my dear students. Today we will discuss the Braille system which Louis Braille has introduced. Tigrale. Diringa tanga Braille system is called silin. Kaungata video 1 and angata topic ivesangome chapter pet pongata discuss just the in pin. Tadiring ives kola silches no te fiangi ina chapter e jungjingi kavikane goma boards tenifala silat hele. After many months of hard work, when Louis was 20, in 1829, he had worked out his system. Tigrale. Tene izuina Louis Braille 20 years chat yak jab 1829 na tigrale jab khoi is system bo khoi pings. He had designed a little hand punch that could be used with an oblong cell containing 6 cells. Tene khoi system benanga khoi hala cell jik izo tubji pings yak ka benanga dots tok yot yak tigrale her letters if ya otos dots gunenang ko chapik difference yot yak baki cell chik na dots tok po her changmena yot yak tigrale. There was a special combination of dots for every letter of alphabet, for every number, and for every punctuation mark. Tigra ta khwe main iwina chi pings trangyu ki letters gune fia hala cell benang ko dots to get kya pa letters gune fia so in kurang marks so malab izuk so chok zet kya cell chik yot kya dots ang na yot kya but sapik difference yot kya ka vegane pata chat kya ki you letters ino ivo numbers ino ivo punctuation mark ino zete tigrale. Another blind person who knew the code could now feel the dots made by punch and read what Braille had written. Tene young blind person jiga kaltes ka to khwe dots guni zo hala feel chona khwang pata chat kya ki I dots gune ya I Braille be jaste Braille benang ko chi diste inzer kanbo tigrale. After a while Louis learned to punch right almost as fast as person could talk, and he could identify dot writing with his fingers almost as quickly as sighted people could read printed types. Tigra ta those bunch of thing bone Louis even a ism expert gyurto kya ki khwe in mi une zer hala ngatang kazuk shakespeare tangat tanna fast vejigena kho diang charat kya punch cho charat kya tigra yang atang sighted people gunla kaulna thot ka guninga ta inna zuisila me da hala easy nang yang pongata sila nokpa tanna chok slice as Louis Braille izwa feel just the kwa silnyanat kya tigrale. Then Louis punched out a number of stories as they were read to him from books. Then Louis says story books ma mangpo ji pings kya kaw khoa friends gune through hala soji through khoa read out just the khoa shatskyak pate o khone Braille system through khoi diskyak tigrale. He knew the method, but now the authorities of institute would not accept Braille's idea. People who could see were satisfied with all methods and felt there was no reason to change to something new. Halata is expert gyurin song kya Louis Braille, but then is a hard time Louis Braille zumitsen ayons kya ki mi thang me te accept kurang ma jos kya tigra baki mi kaulna thonga thala te kaune ya gome izuk chizanok ta blind person goni fa emboss chokane chapik ripya me pina izuk hard copy jingampo tenna phingna dok pata blind goni fa mangpek chi cho change ma khyong nang dok zarkan chorik zerat kya tigrale. Printers of all type embossed books were afraid they would lose business if Braille systems were adopted. Gome ngunmane te printers gunang jikskyak ki Braille system boyong na ngata zapik izuk michahe ngati business po loss michahe samte samskyak tigrale. But Braille went on with his work. He taught his blind pupils in private after school hours. Then लेकिन लुइस ब्रेल बो फिर भी खोने मने हिम्मत बो हराई माचोस क्या खो हमेशा डिटरमाइंड दुक्स क्या को खोरा ब्लाइंड पीपल गुन हाला ठो गुन का खो स्कूल आयो थाला ओदे ब्लाइंड ठो गुन ला खंपा मतलब school hours is thing nang khwe labat kyak tigrale. They soon realized how much better his method was, and they told other blind people about it. Then khon realize song kya hala baki blind mi gunang realize song kya ki Braille method pot some shi important in hala some shi khakchan rak blind people gunifia jete khorang gunang realize song kya janma blind gunang khone realize cha juks kya khona ha go juks kya. Braille began to get letters from blind in every every country in the world begging for instructions. Tigram tene braille befia har jagah ne har country be world har country ne ka blind people gune khwa encouragement jo jese letter yo at ka kingaya tarong even instruction ngaya goshe rag zate hala braille system bo improve jo jese via tarong hala khone letters diskyarle. For the next few years, Braille worked to improve his system. Tene te lok hachi khala Braille patrai system bo improve jo chese fia ko marante sundu shushkya. He worked at his teaching and his music too. Tene khone lapches hala Braille system through lapches ang yampo music pongkhwe o tebe Braille through marante improve joshkya. He designed a special chord for music notes so that a blind musician like himself could learn to play a score by reading the music with his fingertips. Tene khoizam isu music enanga khoizu chord dik things kya kavena blind musician gunla hala khongrang chosla blind musician gunla mane music por rai fingertips gunyam po isa feel jo se khon music po read jo yanat kya tigrale. Little by little, Braille and his friends punched out textbooks, storybooks, and the songbooks. Then nyun joste Braille nang khorai friends gune kule chi things kya zan textbook picture start jos kya storybooks picture start jos kya yang songs books things kya le tigra. Then some printers invented machinery for making copies of these books. Tene yang baki printers khachige itso machinery develop jos kya kave e-copies gunyang is print out mangpo things se migunla lepchuin. But still his system was hardly known to the public. Lekin fir biang mi mangpo jiga khoi system botarung pata ma chayot kya tigra. To Braille's great disappointment, it had not caught on. Tarung Brailleism hala is disappoint sos kya Braille ki I votarung mi phalan jiga maleba nok zate. Louis' health began to fail, and it seemed to him that the work of his lifetime might die with him. Then Louis said, "Isi doran hala inna time beka Louis se health pang like tik malus kya kho hala le zumoyon lus kya." Then khoyu samat kya ki hai ta I hala Braille bo shayad ngarang nang nyam po shimi cha he hala samte. Kaltes khoshi nai Braille bo hala adhura jik inna federal jelusa nok samste khoj jiks kya. But he was still to have his moment of triumph. Among his music people was a blind young girl who was very fine pianist. Braille had taught her his dot method of reading and writing music. Then it kho tarong hala is a khona izuk chizang kho na student jigyot kyarle a young student pomo jigyot kyak student jig gao khoi music class khone kanene nat pin khoi dot se through khoi music jang te yot pin khoi halale khoi dot se through hala Braille dot se through khoi music read choches na music teachers po laps te yot kyak. One evening she gave a concert which was highly applauded. Jakshik jaga ote pomo ve concert jik tang skyarle hala show jik hala kavena khorai lu tang skyak tigra. The young girl held her khona music potanskya. The young girl held her hand for silence. Then changme upload joskya changme kwa tarif joskya lagtab tanskya lekin khoi izuga hand bo up joskya ki chup chod zete hala mi gulna thank you zete khoi zabing mi gulna shan cha joskya. Then he made a speech about Braille. Then at that time beka khoi Braille eskola Louis Braille eskola spera tanskya and what his method had meant to her. Then khoi izeskya ki Louis Braille method pe just tinga cham shik faida song hala ko Louis Braille method pongi fia chi in zer kam bukhe shat kya I beg to you to upload him and not me tinge nija gulna ju zeren hala ki please khonga upload chos. That means Louis Braille upload chos nga upload machon andik nga tarif machon andik khonga tarif chos. I play through his eyes nge I piano hala music po khonge mi ge through he play chos te in zer kan chos khwe zes kya tigrale. The next day the Paris newspaper were filled with stories about Braille and his work for his blind pupils. Then next day wo hala tena we concert thore zuks po Paris nanga pura newspapers hamena Louis Braille nang khoi system is kola I method pesh kola pura disdeot kyakle. So much interest was aroused that many schools finally agreed to use his system. School halat mi changma pata song kyak mi changma that kyak tene mi changme iwo korang une school nanga hala adopt chosh kyakle ki blind if isam faida duk zete. When Braille heard about this, he wept out of joy because he said that his life had not been a failure after all. Then Braille jab ive skola pata cha jane Braille hala kho pat hal isam wept out of joy means isam skitpo yonska ki khwang muches khorang yonska tigrale. Then khwe uses kya ki after all nge chi nge hala chamshi nge koshish choste nge chamshi hard work choste na te wo zaya ma song te wo hala kodla ma song zete quiz this kya. This was in 1852 when Braille was 43 years old. Then ivo e time of 1852 in ain kya jab Braille 43 chat kya tigrale. 2 years later, the Institute for the Young Blind officially adopted Louis' system and named it after him. Then longi system bone young blind or the institute pe ivo Braille is system bo Louis Braille system ka me Braille zerat o the Braille bo officially accept chuskya adopt chuskya Quran school enangwa. Books were translated into Braille, and through books the blind found empowerment they had never dreamt of. Then books gun zuk chuskya translate chuskya Braille enangwa tikra ngata normal books textbooks gun Braille enangwa translate chuskya yang mi phalanjiga pantoksong kya blind people phalanje pantoksong kya. In this way iwoma inspiring stories jikra khala tugun. So Ive kan e story vina chi razena Louis Braille khongrang hala he was so determined isam hard working isam determined person jigraki khongrang blind in enji khoe hala isam hard work josera young yampo chizano baki blind people gunang khwe empower josera hala himmat tantara ki ngata kaltas ka to ngata izogyot na hala ngata dotpa oyot na ngata changatang man chi thama chong yana no like there's a saying where there is a will there is a way hala kaltes ka to jahan cha hai wahan rah hai zamira kaltes ka to ngata dotpa yotna ngata chang midup ches yo amano tigrale I hope nija changmala e chapter bo hagote yodo e chapter bo kaltes ka to hamago na you can call me on my number which is given on the screen. Thank you.